right, BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. We've got another episode of Mud Mule TV coming your way. Today we have the debut, the start of a new race series on BobbethTV. That is the KMKZ Media Hell Tour, the 2025 Hell Tour. Super late models on a 8-car schedule. Just getting through the sponsor logos there. Let me just get those up because I haven't written those down yet. So I don't have the names all committed to memory just yet. All right, I haven't had my coffee yet. Literally just got here. All right, so let's get over. Well, while that's all running, so yeah, so obviously KMKZ promotional nationals, the Hell Tour presented by KMKZ Media, sponsored by Gold Nugget Nutrition, Houston Custom PCs, iRacing, Dirt Memes, Pro Dirt Racing League, and TDS. All right, let's get over to our racing screen. They are currently in practice at the moment, but let's get some race info up and have a look here and see what's going on. All right. There we go. Everything is working. So as you can see here, we're at Cedar Lake Speedway, New Richmond, USA for this super late model round. Couldn't think of a better track to open up on. Why does that say that? Let's fix that real quick. I just realized the bottom of the label says SDK Gaming. We'll change that to BobbethTV. There we go. All right. So like I say, they are currently in practice. So let's get down to the track and have a bit of a look. Oh, some of these names I need to fix up. Full name. There we go. All right, so we've got about 16, 17, 18 drivers currently registered. Still got about 2 minutes in practice, 5 in qualifying to go. Let's have a look at some of these names. We've got Grady Ehrman, Matt Daddy. Matt Daddy. I'm sure there's a bigger name there, Bob. Let's have a quick look. Oh. It's Matt Daddy Fort. There we go, Matt Fort, Michael Carter, Jordan McLean, Dalton Butcher, Jacob Lassiter, Jaden Sheehan, Ethan Sprague, Connor Hazel, Brian Gunnison, Brandon Marlowe, Tyler Willis, Casey Miracle, Dustin Bohannon, Nick Klosterman, and Jared Stanley. Thank you for the follow, NG5VR on Twitch earlier, and Adam Dama. I'm going to go Dama on YouTube. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate you, brother. Some of these times, just trying to make sure I've got everything all set up on my end. Oh, we don't have a track map, Bob. Oh, I'm going to have to move that now. Oh my God, I went through a lot of this stuff last night and I was sitting there and I'm like, I know there's something I've forgotten. There's a few things I've forgotten. And you think I could remember what they were? And now I'm just seeing them all. So it's all the Imperial Metric stuff. Placement of the track map. Where is my Ethan? Thanks for the share also, Ethan. Appreciate you, brother. Here it is. Okay, let's get this track map down that screen a little bit. Track map. I think it's like 850 or 900 maybe. 950. All right, looks like qualifying is up. Let me just save this so I don't lose it all once we finish today's broadcast. I have to do it all again next week. That is the 413 on our leaderboards, the J9 on our screens of Jared Stanley. Brian Gunnarson's out there, Casey Miracle, I hope I'm saying that right, and Nick Klosterman as well. Oh, I haven't even had a sip of my coffee yet, no wonder I'm struggling. I need to move that up, actually. That little Twitch guide thing down the bottom of my screen, it seems to be cutting into stuff. Let's see. That box, stream labels, there we go. Move that up to there. And then we'll just, that alerts are in the right spot. They need to come down a fraction. There we go. I think we're good. Who are you here to watch, guys and girls? Let me know and I'll make sure they get highlighted on our screens here tonight. Grady Ehrman, quick time with a 13.243. Jacob Lassiter looks like he is 13.276 in second. Ethan Sprague 13.313. Those are the quick times. Brian Gunderson up there as well, 13.377, but 13.337 by Dalton Butcher moves him into fourth, moves Brian back to fifth. Look at Jaden Sheehan currently contesting for sixth cricket with Jordan McLean in seventh. Brandon Marlowe, Matthew Ford, and Connor Hazel in, what did I, 8th, 9th, and 10th. I'll get that out right in a second. There he is, Robbie Bennett out there. Robert Bennett, the 11 machine. Nice shiny car. I thought Brian Gunderson as well. That looks like it's Matt Fort there. Nice. That's Robbie Milburn, 80 on our screens. But it must be 11 on the leaderboard. Oh no. The 11 is Robert Bennett. I'm an idiot. Robbie Milburn, Robert Bennett. Sorry, guys. A lot of these names I already know. I've broadcast a number of these drivers in the past. There's the 07 of Matt Ford. As well, the KMKZ media team represented well. KMKZ Promotions, rather. Fix that name up. I put it as media, not promotions. Oh, we've gone live with Kick this week, and I forgot to actually go live on the Kick today to see how it goes. I'm an idiot. Drivers here today. 40 seconds left in qualifying. Looks like Derek Houston may not get a time on the board. He's out there though, so he does have a little bit of time. Dustin Bohannon out there as well. Grips up in 10th place. 13.4. 13.4. 5 for Derek Houston. That looks like qualifying is done. I reckon we have about 4 heats here today. Possibly 4 5-car heats, maybe 3 6-car heats, and an extra 9th car, 7th car in one of those heats. We'll have to wait and see as we kick over to our grid. All right, right, lining up in this one. Yeah, it looks like 3 heats here today. The Dirt Super Late Models here at Cedar Lake Speedway for the KMKZ Promotions Hell Tour. I just noticed something else I hadn't updated. All right, on that front row, it will be Grady Ehrman and Ethan Sprague. Michael Carter versus Derek Houston on the second row. Third row is going to be Matt Fort and Tyler Willis. Jared Stanley will be on that fourth and final row by himself as we get our Heat 1 underway. Welcome to the KMKZ Promotions Hell Tour 2025. All right, about to get this one underway, and I still haven't fixed the track map up yet, so we'll have to just manually put that on as we go green as the pace car leaves the track. They're up high in turns 1 and 2 down that back stretch to Cedar Lake. This one is going to be brutal. As they are side by side, Michael Carter, Grady Ehrman, Ethan Sprague, Derek Houston, Matt Fort, Tyler Willis. Looks like Jared Stanley back there as well. Tonight's first round presented by a title sponsor for each race. Tonight's race is the Trackside Dirt Sim 50 laps feature race here at Cedar Lake Speedway for the Super Pro Late Models KMKZ Promotionals Nationals Hell Tour. Big shout out to Trackside Dirt Sims, Michael Lonis, and of course Trackside Dirt Sims for all of their support. Love you, brother. Side by side still, Michael and Grady just battling it out hard. We've got the 43 versus the 15. Little mini slider there. There's been a collision back there just in the exit of 2. Looks like they've managed to keep it going though. The 07 of Matt Ford, Ethan Sprague, I think that was. Derek Houston might have been a part of it. Tyler Willis and Jared Stanley back there in 6th and 7th, as well as Grady and Michael just continue this 8-lap heat race battle. There's the white flag last lap in. Grady's going to try and hold on to this race. Secure pole position in the 50 lapper here tonight. As the checkered flag comes around. What a close finish for Grady and Michael. We normally say in heat races, especially heat race 1, number 1, her first heat, rarely is it a racy race because the track just hasn't come in yet. But the boys here, they do the work on the track. They get it to a state that's good as a starting state, but is racy. And you can see there that those two front runners absolutely side by side for most of that race. All right, second heat, it's going to be the hot lap hero, Jacob Lannister. Dalton Butcher alongside him on that front row. Jaden Sheehan and Dustin Bohannon on that second row. Robert Bennett and Nick Klosterman on that third and final row. Jaden Shin Gaming, thanks for the like on Facebook. Appreciate you, brother. Get out there and like Jaden as well. He's one of the drivers out here tonight. He's on the track right now. So if you want to check him out, grab him on Facebook, Jordan Sheehan Gaming. J9 Stanley team on Twitch as well. Second of 8 laps. It's Jacob Lassiter, sorry, Dalton Butcher, Jaden Sheehan, Dustin Bohannon, Robert Bennett, Nick Klosterman. 6 cars in this second heat. KMKZ media cars represented in this race. Robert Bennett, Dalton Butcher. It's always good when you're racing against some of the guys that run the league. Gives you something to beat, something to prove, some bragging rights. As we hit the halfway mark, 4 laps in of this 8-lap heat race, 4 to come. See, Jaden Sheehan's got a Wreck-It Ralph on the side of his car. I wonder if Ralph will come out to play in the feature race. We'll have to wait and see. It's been some fairly tight competitive racing, but it's been fairly non-pushy, I guess is what I was sort of looking for there. Oh, I don't have my multi-stream thingy up. I'm missing out on all this other chat. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys. Let me just quickly try and recover. And right, so we know Twitch is coming through because that's what I've been seeing only on my screen. So I'm so sorry guys. So we'll jump over to YouTube and the Facebook pages. And we'll just try and get a... Ah, here we go. Who are these guys? Bob says KC McLean. We ain't related, but I'm pulling for that McLean. As we get to the end of the second heat, Jacob Lassiter will take that one out. Oh, we didn't do the results. We got so excited about the racing, they didn't do any of the results before. Let's go back over the Heat 1 results really quickly. So Heat 1, as we get to the halfway mark of our heat races for the Trackside Dirt Sims 50 here for the KMKZ promotions held to us. So it was Jarrett Stanley in 7th, Tyler Willis in 6th, 5th, Derek Houston, Ethan Sprague and Matthew Fort 4th and 3rd. Second was Michael Carter, and winner of our Heat 1 race was Grady Ehrman. Second heat, though, it was Nick Klosterman in 6th, Dustin Bohannon in 5th, Robert Bennett in 4th, Jaden Sheehan in 3rd, Dalton Butcher 2nd, but Jacob Lassiter takes out Heat 2. Let's get to the grid for Heat 3 as we move through this racing. Okay, so Heat 3, front row, Robbie Milburn versus Brian Gunderson. Jordan McLean and Brandon Marlowe. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Jordan McLean and Brandon Marlowe on that second line. Third line is going to be Connor Hazel and Casey Maracle. All right, let's get down to the track. Get this one ready. Jonathan Fox, as I seen their flyer, should have joined. Yeah, so this is the KMKZ boys. This is, I don't know if you ever remember the Pro Dirt Tour that was on my channel for a while. Before the Knuckleheads boys, Robbie Milburn did come over to Knuckleheads for a little while. No, it's all super late models, KC. All super late models so far. So it is going to be a good 8-week hell tour of super late model racing. We are off and green. Once again, if you've got anyone you're here to watch, let me know. Let's make sure we get them on our screens. Robert Milburn off on a great start for Heat 3 there. Jordan McLean, Brandon Marlowe, the top 3. The back 3, Brian Gunderson, Connor Hazel, Casey Maracle, as we get this one underway. Number of sponsors. There's the ADG Danhausen machine. Very nice, very evil indeed. Brian, you can always rely on the ADG, Brian Gunderson, to have a wrestling-related theme song. Well, dang well, I could give it a shot and get... You could, man, or you could actually win a race and show them how it's done. You never know. You should get out there and check it out. If you're in the BobbethTV Discord, there is a schedule and Discord link in there for these boys. There's Postnut 16 in Twitch. Let's go, a Butcher. Dalton Butcher, of course, one of the drivers here tonight, one of the KMKZ members. The gentleman that got me back on board with these guys. As we come around, Robbie Milburn gets that checkered flag. The 80 will win Heat 3. We're going to get to the results straight away this time, Bob. Oh, thanks for the follow. Also, Postnut 16. Appreciate you. All right, so Robbie Milburn. So no, go the other way, Bob. Casey Miracle in 6th. Connor Hazel in 5th. Brian Gunnarsson finished 4th. Brandon Marlowe 3rd. 2nd, Jordan McLean, and Robbie Milburn was our winner. 3 heats, 2 of 6, 1 of 7, not 4 heats, Bob. You can't count. All right, our grid for our first race of the KMKZ Nash promotional. Let me try that again. Our first round of the KMKZ promotional. No, I can't get it. I can't spit it out. This is the KMKZ Promotions Nationals Hell Tour. The first round, it is the Trackside Dirt Sims 50 laps here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Thank you, Michael Lonis and Trackside Dirt Sims for the title sponsorship for this round. On the front row, it's going to be Grady Ehrman and Jacob Lass. The second row is going to be Robbie Milburn and Michael Carter. Third row, Dalton Butcher and Jordan McLean. Sorry, Matthew Ford and Jaden Sheehan on that 8th. Fourth row, 5th row, Brennan Marlowe and Ethan Sprague. The 6th row will be Robert Bennett and Brian Gunnarsson. 7th row, Derek Houston and Dustin Bohannon. Connor Hazel and Tyler Willis on that 8th row. 9th row is going to be Nick Klosterman and Casey Miracle. And on that 10th and final row, Jared Stanley. Let's go to 38. Says Post Nut 16. That, of course, is Dalton Butcher. Right, off we go and racing. 19 cars, 50 laps. Cedar Lake Speedway. There's been some contact already, but they are going forward and green. So Grady Ehrman, Jacob Lass, Michael Carter, Robbie Milburn, Jordan McLean, the top 5, Dalton Butcher, Jaden Sheehan, Ethan Sprague, Brandon Marlowe, Matthew Ford. The top 10, Derek Houston, Robert Bennett, Brian Gunnarsson, Dustin Bohannon, Connor Hazel, Tyler Willis, Nick Klosterman, Casey Miracle, and Jared Stanley. The remainder of our field as our first caution comes out. Oh, looks like we might have jinxed Dalton there, Postnut. Let's go back and have a look over here. There he is there, the 38 red and white machine. It gets a little bit of contact there, nothing crazy, but it looks like it was 80, Robbie Milburn, teammate, that knocked him up a little bit into that wall, brought out our latest caution. As we get back to our live screen, first caution of this race. Jason Satterfield from YouTube. Too bad Lonus isn't out there. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad point. He is a late model machine. What are you doing, Lonus? Trackside Dirt Sims 50, and he's not even racing in his own race. Too bad Lonus. Let's get KMKZ media, guys. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, Jace. How are you, brother? Thank you also for the follow, Percy J97. Are these open set up or fixed? That's a good question. Let me have a quick look at the Discord. I believe they're open, so it's fixed. Okay, so it's a $10 entry fee. It is a paid league. Fixed setup late models. And yeah. Right, off we go and racing again. Hinchmin, so race leader Jacob Lasser, Robbie Milburn second and third, Michael Carter and Jordan McLean fourth and fifth as we get this one back underway. Lap 8 of 50, coming through the laps pretty quickly. This first fifth of this race. Just the one caution so far. KC says in Facebook, might be able to hang if it's fixed. Low, I've ran maybe 2 open setup races with a fixed setup and ran mid-pack. Obviously, yeah, it can be a bit tricky in those open setups. And I'm not as good as the setup reading and adjustment as some of my other friends, so I've always just preferred fixed as well. Looks like Ethan Sprague has hit the pit lane. We don't have the track map on our screens, Bob. I do need to get that fixed before next week. Alright, so we start off with the Trackside Dirt Sim 50. That, of course, is tonight. Next week, it is the Pro Dirt Racing League 40. Then the Houston Custom PCs 55. The halfway mark will be the Gold Nugget Nutrition 40. Then we've got the KMKZ Media 30 round. The Houston Customs PC 50. Pro Dirt Racing League 75. Wrapping it up with the final, just the day before my birthday, iRacing Dirt Memes 100 lapper. So 8 rounds of racing to come over the next 2 months. It's going to be pretty exciting. Who will take out the KMKZ Promotions Nationals, the Hell Tour 2025? All right, coming up on lap 17 of 50, almost completed here. Lap 18 of 50 underway. We are racing through this first third of our racing schedule. Looks like Ethan and Dustin Bohannon, Ethan Sprague and Dustin Bohannon both in the pits. So whatever technical issues are keeping them off the track, I hope they get those sorted. Robbie Milburn getting quite the highlight there. There's Michael Carter back there behind him in fourth. Jordan McLean, Derek Houston as well. Race up on our halfway mark. Still 17 cars remain. Jared Stanley currently 17th. Tyler Willis 16th. Nick Klosterman in 15th. 14th is currently Casey Miracle. Connor Hazel in 13th. Brian Gunnison and Dalton Butcher 12th and 11th. Our top 10. Jaden Sheehan in 10th. 9th. Brandon Marlowe. Robert Bennett in 8th. Matt Fort in 7th. Derek Houston in 6th. Our top 5. Jordan McLean. Michael Carter, our top 3, Robbie Milburn, and Jacob Lassiter in 2nd, and Grady Ehrman. Oh, looks like there we can see some changes coming as they are racing it hard up at the front. Michael Carter, Grady Ehrman, Jacob Lassiter has moved his way into the lead. Come on, McLean, says Kent. That is Jordan McLean in our 5th place right now. 4th, actually. Halfway mark done, 25 laps in, only 25 still to come. Oh, there has been another crash there. I wonder if that'll bring out a caution. It does look like they might have come to a stop. But Jared Stanley, the 4-1-3 machine, might have got it in the pits in time. No, he didn't. Caution has come out. I just want to reset that one with the camera. Different camera angle. There we go. The J9, Jared Stanley. Really trying to keep some of that speed off of it. Looked like the 80 got up onto him and, oh, it forced him up over the safety barrier. You don't see that too often. As we regroup, our second restart for the night, our third start overall. 2 cautions in, lap 27 of 50. This is KMKZ Promotions Nationals. This is the 2025 Hell Tour. We're going to start off our night with the Trackside Dirt Sims 50. This is sponsored by Trackside Dirt Sims and the amazingly awesome, handsome, and devilishly good looking Michael Lonis, who I haven't seen in the chat yet. Michael Lonis. (17 of the 19 cars still in this race. Make that 18 of the 19. Ethan Sprug back out of the pits. As we get lap 30, just 21 laps to go. This one has been screaming through Percy J, and they keep fighting at Butcher. Where is he at the moment? Don Butcher there in the top 10. He's in 9th spot. We're riding along with Matt Daddy and Matt Fort here. The 07 machine. A little bit of banging and beating there as they try and sort of work their way through position. I was anticipating a little bit more essentially aggressive style of racing. We have been used to some fairly non-aggressive racing on our channel. But the boys' first round, so looking to sort of, I guess, settle in that first before they start swinging punches. There has been a bit of contact there with the 37. And I believe the 5 of Jaden Sheehan. Telemetry not getting that crash as we saw it live. All right, while we're rolling around, just going to get my bottle of water. All right, we are back at Green Racing here. Let's get those cameras back to where they need to be. Less than 15, or not less than 15 laps is exactly how many we have remaining here today. This is the Trackside Dirt Sims 50 for the KMKZ Promotions Nationals Hell Tour. First round here tonight at Cedar Lake Speedway, 50 laps. Looks like Ethan Sprague got his car back out, but is now officially retired, not even in the pits. Has parked it on the trailer. So we'll lock in at 19th spot. Dustin Bohannon still in our pits. He's our 18th position. 17 cars still remain. Right now, it looks like Michael Carter, the favourite to win this race. Still only 0.3 of a second in the lead ahead of Grady Ehrman, Derek Houston, Jacob Lassiter, Jordan McLean for the 15. For the 5, Bob, for the 5. Sorry, I'm still going on this coffee. I'm barely halfway through it. Right along inside some of these race cars. It was Dylan Butcher, Matt Fort there for a bit as well. Those two battle it out. Kamikaze Motorsports. Maybe that's what KMKZ means. Kamikaze. Look at me go. Math man. Detective man. Lap 43 of 50. We're almost down to those final 5 laps. This one has been a wicked race. Very competitive, but very fast. These guys have come out swinging in a good way, not in a deadly way that causes yellow flags or just delays races, things like that. This has been an amazingly fun race for a first round series. With about 5 to go, we're going to get up the front and watch these boys battling it out in the top 5. There's Jacob Lassiter there, Jordan McLean, Derek Houston as well. Up the front here, Grady Ehrman and Michael Carter are battling it out. Looks like Michael Carter might have Grady's number there as he comes along on the inside. Grady has to go up high. With 3 laps to go, they are trading sliders. Grady Ehrman, Michael Carter. This is going to be fun to watch. Let's try and find a good camera. I think the one we were on was fine with 2 to go. As traffic starts to get in the way, the 15 and the 43 gets past the 4-1-3. That's Jared Stanley. The 15, Michael Carter, Grady Ehrman. He is battling it. He's not going to let Michael have it without a fight. As we come around, this is the white flag lap. The last time it through 3 and 4 will be now into 3. They come through 4. Who's going to have the run to the line? Is it going to be Michael Carter? They are side by side. They are contacting there. They are getting the checkered flag. Oh my gosh, Michael Carter just takes home that one with a close one with Grady Ehrman in second. Derek Houston in third. Jacob Lassiter, Jordan McLean rounding out that top 5. What a finish to the Trackside Dirt Sims 50 for the KMKZ Promotions Nationals Hell Tour here at Cedar Lake Speedway. As he gets himself on a victory lane. Let's try and pause that there. Can we get out wider? That's the replay screen. All right. Kind of gets everyone on the screen. There we go. Oh, I want to rewind. I want that car on my screen. Thank you. There we go. All right, let's get a look at these official results. I forgot to ask what interviews they wanted to do for the end of the race. All right, we'll find out in a moment, I guess. All right, results are as follows for this 19-car field. It's going to make me scroll down 1 just to get to the rest of the results. Yep, Ethan Sprague from Wide Open Motorsports in 19th, Dustin Bohannon in 18th, Jared Stanley 17th, Casey Maracle in 16th, Tyler Willis in 15th, Jaden Sheehan in 14th. We had Jonathan Paquette, Motorsports driver Nick Klosterman in 13th, Connor Hazel from Pro Rev Esports in 12th, 11th, Brian Gunderson, Robert Bennett in 10th, Robbie Milburn 9th, 8th, Matt Ford, Kamikaze Motorsports, KMKZ Media's Dalton Butcher in 7th, Hot Lap Heroes Racing's Brandon and Marlowe in 6th, Jordan McLean in 5th. Fourth, Jacob Lassiter from Hot Lap Heroes Racing as well. Derek Houston, Grady Ehrman, third and second. But CSC Motorsports, Michael Carter gets the Trackside Racing Sims 50 in the bag. The first race. It's very important to get off to a great start, and he has done that. All right, let's get over to the Discord. We'll see if we do have some interviews lined up. Oh, we do. We have third, second, and so the wide range. It has been so long since I've actually managed to interview third and second. Most of the leagues I've done have just been winners lately. So good way to get to meet some of the drivers. Now, this guy, not only a driver, but a sponsor, team member, loved.
And I'm your American best friend. Come on, Bob.
I was going to say loved,
Come on.
loved direct message person, and absolutely favorite person in America with the initials DH for certain.
Oh yeah.
Derek Houston, but man, Houston PCs, we see him on. I get jealous every time I see your ads and think I could afford that computer if you could ship that to Australia for less than it costs to actually purchase it off you. But man of
Buddy, you
many.
tell me and we'll make a number work. I promise.
First round of the KMKZ Promotions Nationals Hell Tour. We had the Trackside Dirt Sim 50 here. Thank you to you boys at KMKZ and Michael Lonis. But what a field! A lot of new names that I had to sort of learn. Not hard ones. A couple of older names that I remember from the Pro Dirt
Yeah.
series and some of you weirdo super late model fans. But I guess for a paid league, 19 drivers up front. And some pretty fierce competition. You got to be pretty happy with how your race panned out this one.
Yeah, unfortunately I was running a bit late, so I didn't get any practice time and I just qualified. I was having some trouble in the heat race. I thought him and I we had our situation. I think we've got that ironed out, so I don't need to bring it up obviously. But I don't, I was just trying to learn the car more than anything else at that point. If I was in the wrong, then I apologize. I don't think I was, but in the end, him and I will talk about it. We'll be okay. Um, I Bob, it's good to be quick in this kind of field. I'm used to running officials now. I don't do a bunch of league racing, so I've ran with Michael Carter plenty of times where he's stomped me behind every barn door that there is in America, and I'm just glad that I was able to at least be up there with him this time around. The Carters, man, they're just fast guys,
Yep.
just so fast.
Well, him and Grady, and obviously we'll talk to both of them about that. But you obviously had one of the best seats in the house for that last sort of 5 lap run, where a lot of little mini sliders, those guys really sort of throwing all the bells and whistles at each other. Is it going to be like that each week, where you sort of you're going to get to, I guess, not a ceiling, but a sort of a spot where like say around third, where it's going to be a lot more competitive, and you're going to need to rely on people that don't necessarily make mistakes to capitalize. Like Grady looked very strong against Michael, but Michael held on. But at the same time, I wasn't sure if Michael was going to, because Grady did look quite pressuring up the front, and then yourself, Jacob, Jordan back there behind there waiting to pick up the pieces. Is that going to be the order of the day? Patience and just waiting your moment.
You know what? I hope so. I haven't ever raced with Grady, so I admit he's not familiar to me. But it was just damn good racing, for especially from my perspective, and even what I had going on between the 51 and the 115. Those guys were also fast. Admittedly, I was just holding on and looking at my tires. I was just getting insane. It was a lot of fun. I think I also learned a couple things, especially with the setup. I wish I would have had a little more practice time. Maybe I would have been more comfortable to be up there with those guys. But you know what? 13th to third in my first race. I'll certainly take it, especially for the KMKZ Media Factory team, Houston Custom PCs, and the EPI team by Speed Range.
Yeah, definitely, my man. Yeah, hard charger 10 spots up. Tough luck award, unfortunately, went to Ethan Sprague. I really hope I'm getting some of these extra new names Right, but we'll get to know them over the next 8 weeks as we watch you guys race through to August to see who's going to take out the KMKZ promotions and nationals. That is such a mouthful. Now, I did learn by looking at Butch Dalton's team name. So he's obviously Kamikaze Motorsports. This is going to be the dumbest question I'll ask this week, I think.
Mhm.
KMKZ Media or KMKZ Promotions. I always forget that second K. That's
Yeah.
Kamikaze, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
So admittedly, Dalton just threw that on the car, and I appreciate it because Dalton's been a great friend to me. We've also got that over on Brooks's car. We also got a buddy of mine, Anthony, that is just starting to get in the late model side. We're helping him out as well, trying to get everything in. So it's some of the old guys. You got Matt in there, you got Robbie, Dalton, myself, Brooks, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
then I admit I don't know if there is any others. As far as I'm aware of, it's just Tony or Anthony that's got the KMKZ media. I wonder if James is in here and maybe we can get a nice picture one of these times where we have all the cars together.
That would be good to see. But
Mhm.
look, I have no doubt you'll have people throughout the season reaching out, go, hey, is there another spot on that team? Because you guys are wealth of knowledge across the field, whether it's track knowledge, whether it's the setups, whether it's the paints, things like that. You guys really do have all the different aspects of iRacing sort of covered with each person in the group in terms of their sort of knowledge and skill sets. And looking forward to watching you guys grow and do great things. Obviously, familiar with the Pro Dirt series as well. I know that has been running on consistently with some other random broadcast we won't talk. No, but it's good to have you guys back on the screen. Good to see you guys racing. I've known a lot of you pretty much my entire iRacing career, so it's going to be fun to watch, and it's kind of nice seeing. Um, the usual Robbie Milburns and that not dominating in a race. I did expect to see Lonus out here, especially being the Trackside Dirt Sim 50. That is obviously one of his
Yeah.
babies. So hopefully we might see. We might look. We'll pull up some money. We might have to pay the appearance fee first, but we should hopefully in one of these 8 races get Michael Lonus out on the track as well. But no, in all seriousness, 19 guys, some awesome racing. I could see a lot of guys there that just a little bit of patience, a little bit of wrong place, wrong time tonight at Cedar Lake could have a very different result next week. So it's going to be exciting to watch. Before we let you go, though, brother, and you did mention a couple of them, but let's get the official sort of shout outs done. Friends, family, sponsors. Who do you need to thank for making all of this possible?
Well, of course, the friends and family. Of course, I got to thank KMKZ for putting on the race. Dalton was kind of talking about it a little bit, and I admit I didn't know when he was going to commit to it, so I'm glad he finally did. Of course, KMKZ Media, Cusa Custom PCs. Check me out if you guys need a gaming PC. Matter of fact, I've got a couple that'll probably be coming up for sale soon. Elite EPI by Speed Ranch, the Elite Performance guys. I just swapped over there from a previous team, so I'm excited to get that underway. I finally got my first race under with those guys, so I think that'll be a good thing for myself as well. We'll definitely gain some ground in that case. Of course, Robbie, Brooks, everybody still with the KMKZ guys. Robbie, Brooks, Matt, even though he's a sucker sometimes, but just everybody that comes out and supports. We're all trying to have a good time, and I'm excited to be in the league to where I don't feel like I'm getting wrecked constantly, and I'm trying to fight for positions when I think we'll have just damn good racing. Simple as that.
That definitely could not agree more. It was there was a
Oh
few
yeah,
people that.
and I appreciate
Oh,
you, Bob, because damn
oh,
it, I haven't seen you in so long.
it has been forever. Obviously, like I said, we do have a group chat. We do talk. I'm probably not as frequent as some of you guys in there. Just because
Yeah,
if I
you're
did,
sleeping most of the
I'd
time
just be
right now.
consistently giving Robbie crap, and that just wouldn't be fair on him. No, and love you, Luke. We miss you too, mate. Um, but yeah, we do. We all talk on the daily, on the weekly, and so it's, love watching you guys grow and do good things. And like I always say, I'm always happy to ride some coattails when I get the chance. So appreciate
Mhm.
you guys bringing me back on and me getting to sort of come back to basics and just sort of get back to where we all started. Like I say, Robbie Milburn, Brian Gunderson, we mentioned Michael Onus, Luke Rakowski. They're all guys from my very first uh, 4A
Good old
league
mud
into
mules.
iRacing and formed Mud
Hmm.
Mules, Big Performance. God, it's been, like you say, um, you go from team to team, but it's really not jumping team to team. It really is just building your skill set and finding what you need and what those teams need out of you and making sure you're in the right fit. And I feel like with KMKZ, once you bring Robbie up to speed, you guys are going to be going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Once you bring Robbie up to speed, you guys are.
I don't have to talk to
Are
him at
you
all
sure
tonight,
about
so
that, man? I
I
got lucky.
It was fun watching the 80. He was doing some great stuff in that heat race. I was just like, oh, here we go. Robbie Milburn evolved, but no, him and Matt, Robbie Bennett, Brian Gutters, they all had that. There were some fierce battles in that midfield, which I think the skill set spread out so well that, yeah, it's going to be tough. It is going to be a tough series, and it's going to be fun to watch, man. Look, I will let you go. We'll see you again at the same time next week on our screens, this time for the. I'm totally not distracting myself as I try and find my little page where it's written down. There we go. Port Royal next week, the Pro Dirt Racing League 40. So 40 laps at Port Royal, my man. Get some practice in. Best of luck. And look, if you can't take out hard charger, at least hopefully we'll see you in the top 5.
Well, I hope to be talking to you again next week, buddy. I'm glad that I get to speak to you again and hope you've been well, friend.
No, I have been very well, my man. It's an absolute pleasure. We'll talk soon.
All right, buddy. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was our sorry, not second place. That was our third place, Derek Houston, our second place driver here. And I apologise off the bat, Grady. I hope I get this right straight away. But we have Grady Ehrman. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yes,
in second place, man. Congratulations. I always love when I sort of pick up a new league to broadcast or sort of a league returns or in any form. I've broadcast these guys in the past as the Pro Dirt Racing League. So when they were coming back with this one, I definitely wanted to be on board because Super Late Models, they always put on a great show. They attract the right people for it. And first round out here tonight, Trackside Dirt Sim 50. And yourself and Michael Carter put on a great show all the way throughout the race, but none more than those last 5 sort of laps where you guys were just sort of throwing little mini sliders, trying whatever you could have done out there. It is the boogeyman question, but I'm going to get it out of the way first race just because it's a bit of a joke sort of question with this league. But anything you think you could have done differently in those last 5 laps?
Probably try not to drive the car so hard. I mean, I was in over my head. I was really trying to catch up to him. I was frustrated with some of the lap car deals, but I mean that is what it is. But I was running it a little bit too hard, especially when he was pinching me down and protecting his line. I was getting on the throttle, I think, a little bit too early, coming off the bottom when I was down there. So probably that.
Yeah, outside of that though, and look, not to say that you didn't put the pressure on him. There was some periods there where you were able to sort of force him from that low line up a bit higher on exit out of 4 than he'd like, and that was sort of giving you that good run, getting you up into first, and then it was sort of trading back and forth. Unfortunately, obviously, only one person can get that checkered flag, and that was Michael tonight. But you were definitely what I would have considered the favourite, the fastest one out there. Obviously, you qualified pole in that Heat 1 race, and we're just in that chase the entire way. Now, let's get to know you a little bit, my man. So I guess obviously super late models, something you're comfortable in. You just ran a very good race, but is that your jam? Are you sort of a super late model guy out there in officials, things like that?
Yeah, mainly late models. Starting to branch off into sprint cars and UMPs a little bit more. But mainly late models. I was a street stock guy for the longest time, but that's not really where the competition is that much anymore. So I had to branch out and switch over to late models, and thankfully I got partnered up with Fusion and then eventually NLRA, and they kind of guided me to being better in a super late and honestly a pro late recently. So
Yep. No, well, I mean, look, these guys, I know, like I was saying before, when I was talking to Derek, guys like Robbie, Robert Bennett, Dalton himself, Matt, Derek, a couple of other boys, they've all over the years taken me under their wings and tried to get me. They got me into a late limited, and I will race a pro, but generally I'll sort of fall off after the first half of that race. So I'm great while it's tacky, but as soon as you need any sort of throttle control, that is me done. But yeah, these boys, they do not fail in attracting some of the what I would like to call I'd say the most entertainingly good late model drivers. They always seem to attract a really, really good field. I can see a lot of familiar names from previous series and things like that, a lot of newer names. How did you come across it? Was it just one of those random Facebook posts? Did you see the boys in officials? How did you find out about them?
So obviously the Facebook post, one of the random Facebook posts, but I think maybe like a year ago, I was in street stock still,
Mm.
and I forget who did it, but one of the guys from the KMKZ promotions type deal, they were taking pictures, and I paid them to take pictures with me in my uncle's car and
Oh,
the
cool.
replica I got done.
Yep, that would
So
have been probably Jason. Not Jason. Is it Jason or is it? It's one of the. There's a couple of boys that are. I was just literally saying to Derek, they all have this one. Like they're all pretty good at what they do, but they all have like one speciality. And now I can't remember which one it is. As the photo guy. I think it's Jason Satterfield. I'm not sure. I might be wrong on that. But no, cool. Well, look, absolutely welcome here to the league, man. You've come in style, and there's a number of guys behind you that would have no problems finishing in this division in top five in terms of skill sets and stuff. So the competition is going to be fierce. It's going to be very interesting to see who, if any, one person can get a bit of a stranglehold on the competition as we sort of race our way through the next 7 races. But look, welcome, man. Pleasure to have you on my screens. I have a feeling we're going to get a chat a little bit more throughout the season. And if you can keep the KMKZ boys behind you, Robbie, Dalton, etc., you will do well here. But not to wrap you up quickly, but before we let you go, man, you did mention a couple, but friends, family, sponsors. Who do you need to give a shout out to for sort of this fun little world that we find ourselves in?
First of all, I want to thank you for putting on the stream and everybody over on the promotion side of this. I think it's really cool. So far, it's honestly been really good, and I've had a lot of fun. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun running this, especially with Michael and everybody else. Just looking for some fun and honestly some competition, and it's obviously cool to watch back your racing, so I appreciate you streaming it. Everybody over on my team, NLRA, Fusion Setups, Damien Keeper Speed, UDTV, Sipes Lawn Care, Sipes Driveway Sealing, Valley Contracting, Juju Sweets, and my family, and everybody who supports me do this weird hobby that I do.
It is a great little world, weird one, but a great little world we find ourselves in. That is awesome, and as you can see, as people can hear, that it takes a village to make this sort of thing. There's so much sides, so many aspects to this that it's not just getting a seat and be able to drive well. There is a lot more to it than just that. So no, massive support there for you, and easy to see why after seeing you out on the track, man. So wish you all the success that is going to come your way, and can't wait to watch you on our screens in the future, man. Best of luck.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you. All right, that was our second placed driver, Grady Ehrman there. That's going to leave us with one more driver. That is Michael Carter from CNC Motorsports. Here's our winner here tonight. I think, second? It was second in the first heat. I think you and sort of Grady started off that race in the heat 1 in terms of the battle, and then carried that right through pretty much all the way through the feature there, especially at the end, Michael. But you held on. It looked like Grady might have had your number a few times. It looked like you had Grady's number a few times. Obviously, you were the one ultimately that did. But were you checking the laps and sort of counting each mini slider, sort of going, all right, this shouldn't be too bad, or was there any panic there at the last 5?
Yeah, man, that was awesome. Racing with Grady, really appreciate him running me clean and hard. And yeah, I got in the wall there on lap 39 and got wheel damage. So I was just holding on for dear life. Actually, I tried to save my tires early, and it actually it played out in the end because I had a little bit something left for them guys. I think were running a little bit harder, but yeah, I was definitely worried there. I thought he had me, but luckily I kept protecting the bottom there, and we slid each other, and it was a good, hard, clean race, and we came out on top tonight. So really thankful, and yeah, man, it feels good to have good, fun racing like this again. It's been a while.
Yeah, look, it's I've had the pleasure of constantly sort of broadcasting different dirt leagues, things like that. Most recently, they've been very sort of developmental, more so about the camaraderie and the skill set that comes from it. So when KMKZ came up and sort of said, "Hey, look, we're going to revive the late model series. Do you want to broadcast?" I was like, "Hell yes," because like I said to Grady and Derek, these guys just attract some of the best late model drivers out there where I sort of jokingly said to my friends when they were watching, I was like, oh, if you guys watch some of the other stuff, this stuff, they will, basically turn their grandmother for a first place. Like there's not as much love lost. It's not dirty, but it's a lot more competitive, and you really have to work for it. And we did see that throughout the race. There was a lot of door-to-door action, a lot of one by one, two by side racing, especially yourself and Grady. But like Grady said, you both raced each other very hard but very clean, and it allows for, because you want an unforced error. You don't want you don't want like Derek to pick up an extra podium spot because you got turned with a silly move or vice versa type of thing. So coming out and being able to run your race and still have a fairly competitive run is awesome to see. Now I forgot to ask the boys, did they run mirrors in this? Do you run mirrors, or was that all relative and sort of engine noise in terms of keeping an eye
Now,
on him?
yeah, they run mirrors in this. I race other leagues that don't have them, which
Yep.
is it actually puts on a little bit better racing. But I guess as you say, if you got them, use them. So
Well, that's it.
um,
Yeah, I'm of two minds at that one. I completely understand what you say when if you're not using them, you're relying on engine noise and relative. It means that you're not as quick to react. You can't sort of block that high line off or the low line off. You sort of got to really pick and move. And but like they say, if you've got them, use them. And I'm like that. I believe that if you've got tools to use, then they're fair to use and to use them because you want to know everything that is going on that track. But I guess in that respect, would you rather be good or lucky?
I don't know. I race in real life, so I mean, I'd rather have a little bit of luck on my side and be halfway good.
Yep.
Luck. You make your own luck in racing. I feel like you can only do what you can, and sometimes you have bad weeks, and they just keep on stringing along. And as long as you work hard in the shop and prepare your stuff, it's eventually going to be your night. That's the way I see it. So
It's that
you
double-edged
just
sword,
gotta
isn't
have
it?
good karma.
It's
Absolutely.
you're only as good as your last race. So that way you don't sort of have to hang on to a streak or anything like that. But at the same time, if your last race wasn't a great one, then that can weigh on you. So what do you race in real life? You stick with the late models as well, or are you in like the mods? What do you race?
Yeah, I race limited late models up here in Winchester, Virginia. My son actually he races too. He's on my team. He would have been in this league, but I think his I rating is a little too high. But he races our crate late model, so we're both
Oh
out there
wow.
turning laps every week, and yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's the one bit of enviness that I do have. I mean, obviously, I'm Australian. I'm down here in Tasmania, and we do have three clay dirt tracks, but I don't get to them as much as I would used to. And hearing that the guys that you guys get to sit in this sim during the week and do this stuff over night time, and then over the weekend go off and race. I've got a lot of guys that we do broadcast that I try and keep an eye on in the real life because they just as talented on the screen as they are on the track in real life. So it's awesome to see, and I love it because I think I'm one of those guys that believe that our virtual racing can help you with your non-virtual racing, and likewise, the non-virtual racing can, especially with some of the upgrades iRacing has done, where some of the cars are getting a lot closer to their real life counterparts. It's starting to relay back as well. Do you find that a little bit? Does it help much?
Oh yeah, it helps a lot. My son got this sim I think 3 years ago, and he's never raced nothing in his life. He's just helped me on my cars. I raced street stocks and got in
Mm.
late models a few years ago, and then we was fortunate enough to get another one, and he got the opportunity to get in it, and he went out there and started turning laps, and I owe it to this because this he's really good on here, and um it's it, he's really way further than I was at my age, at
Yep.
his age when I started. So yeah, I definitely think it helps a lot.
I could not agree more. I used to have a buddy who he raced in Ohio, and so on his iRacing car, on the back of it said, "Don't worry, I do this in real life." And then on the back of his real life race car, it said, "Don't worry, I do this in iRacing." And he was one of those guys. He absolutely swore by it, that if he wasn't, he just wanted seat time. If he wasn't in a seat in a real car, he was in a seat in his sim, sort of thing. He was like that into the dirt side of it. And no, I couldn't agree more. My mum and my dad My mum and my sister are both street stock race car drivers back in the day as well. So I was the opposite though. I had to rebel by not racing a race car, which in hindsight really was probably not a great rebelling option. but no, I love sort of going through. I've got some other mates that I mentioned that I've got one of the guys that I know through here who his kids, both his son and his daughters, all race go karts. And then seeing them on, they're like 9 and 12 when we first met them, and they were beating, some of these guys on in this race. So it's insane how it translates across. And no, I'm so glad that we all get to sort of share in this fun world. I get to put it out there and show you everyone out there what you guys get to enjoy on the daily. So no, it is awesome. Well, look, congratulations, man, taking out the first victory for the KMKZ Promotions Nationals Hell Tour. The Trackside Dirt Sims 50 is in the bag. Next week, we're off to Port Royal for the Pro Dirt Racing League 40. How do you think you'll go at Port Royal?
I'm probably not going to fare out too well there. I usually knock my spoiler off by the end of the night, but it's not one of my best tracks. But I think I don't know, just try to save my equipment and see what happens and try to be there at the end. It's what I try to do all the time. Just try to ride for the first half and see what happens, and go from there. You just try not to do no dumb moves. Best thing you can do.
That's all you can do. I'm having to struggle. I've been waffling to you so long, I can't even remember if I've done this bit, so we'll just do it anyway, because I usually leave it to the last and assume I haven't done it. But friends, family, sponsors, who do you need to give thanks to for making all this possible?
First of all, thank you for the broadcast. It's pretty cool. My dad's watching. I think my wife might be watching.
Awesome.
But I had some buddies watching too, so thank you. Really appreciate it. Everybody's behind this. I think Dalton, everybody for the league that's involved with it. Really appreciate having me back for this. And yeah, I got to thank CSC Motorsports, Braden Carter, my son, Cale Smith, Kyle Hardy, Chase Hardy, Travis Anderson, Big John Higdon. I got Kyle Hardy Racing, Randy Carter Painting, my dad, of course. Hey Pop. Um, got to thank Branson Woodward for the wraps. He always hooks us up pretty well. Midwest Forklifts, KK's Diecast, and everybody else that's watching. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching a great race tonight.
I definitely could not agree more, my friend. Well, look, congratulations. Best of luck next week. We'll see you on our screens again the same time next week. As to talking to you, I feel like, you're going to be one of the guys we might get to know a little bit throughout the season. So that is up to you. We'll have you in the booth as much as you can be, though. But until then, brother, best of luck, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon.
All right. Thank you so much, buddy. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. All right, that was our winner for tonight's Trackside Dirt Sim at 50. Big shout out to Trackside Dirt Sims and Michael Lonis for the sponsorship. Michael Carter is our winner. Thanks for the like, Tim Brown over at Facebook. Appreciate you. Well, that wraps up our racing broadcast. We will be back Sunday night Australian for the return of the Gen 3 V8 Supercars for the 420 Oz Sim Racing League. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, Australian, which will be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night, American for the KHR, the Knuckleheads iRacing League's grassroots racing series. Very much in the dying stages of that competition. Big shout out. Let's see if we can get everyone shout out. NG5VR, Adam Dama, Ethan Sprague, Jaden Sheehan Gaming, J9 Stanley, Postnut 16, Percy J97, J Mac, KC McLean, Jason Satterfield. Let's see if we get everyone. I believe that is everyone. Thank you so much for interacting, watching, chatting, liking, sharing, all of that junk. Really appreciate you all. All right. My name is Bob. Love you all. You know the drill. Boy. No, we're not going to go by just yet. Let's raid out. Let's see if we can raid out on the Twitch. Is it going to be worth raiding out on the Twitch? No. All right, guys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Bye.